Hey, Tramp, how are you doing? Welcome to another episode of Too Late to Sleep. This week brought to you by, no, we don't have any Amazon link this week because we're not even going to pretend to be sponsored this week. I'm just going to bring you this wrestling calendar. Y'all check it out. This is Too Late to Sleep. So yeah, this calendar, and there's going to be a link printed here, and I'll have the actual physical link in the description below. This is something I've been working on. This is for you guys that might watch Raw and SmackDown, but you're kind of curious, what's this other stuff? Where do I find it? When is it on? That is what this is for. The idea is any live wrestling or live debut wrestling, which would be something like Impact that was taped before, but goes on at a specific time, and that's when you watch it. I want to have on this. So there is right now weekly we have Raw, SmackDown, 205 Live, NXT, GFW, Impact. For the moment we have Lucha Underground, but that's seasonal, so that's going to end before too long. But we've got a lot of different stuff. Then we've got all of the New Japan G1 shows on the schedule. We have the CZW special. This is a huge week for wrestling. This is a great time to be a wrestling fan. We are building towards SummerSlam. We are building towards the G1 finals in New Japan. This Saturday we have a CZW special with Japan's Deathmatch King Onita is going to be taking on Tremont live on the High Spots Network. I've talked about that before. Usually they just do archived video on demand. For the first time ever, they are going live. So that's going to be huge, but it is up against Wrestle Circus's Cody Rhodes Summer Show. So we'll be talking about that soon. So you've got all this stuff going on. WCPW just came back. If you're watching this on Friday night, which is when I release it, then earlier tonight, actually in the afternoon, they launched their first new episode of Loaded on Twitch. If you're watching it on Saturday, it will hit YouTube today. 3 p.m. Eastern American Time, 8 p.m. British Summer Time. My time zone Central. It's going to be 2 o'clock. But yeah, it is such a great time to be a wrestling fan. And that is why I brought you this schedule. I want you to be able to find this stuff. I don't expect you to watch all of it. Most people won't. Most people aren't me. I'm the guy who's going to try and watch as much of that as possible and more. But just try and find something in there that you're going to like. And if you have any questions about it, leave it in the comments. Hit me up on social media. You know where to find me. I'm not hard to find. If you have any suggestions, anything that I've left off of the schedule, please let me know, and I will try and get it added on. I want that to be as complete as possible. Big thing on SmackDown, we got the SummerSlam title match set. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jinder Mahal. Shinsuke Nakamura actually beat John Cena in the main event clean as a whistle. It wasn't quite as good a match as I was hoping it was going to be, but it was a good match. I was hoping for great. I got good. I'll take good. But I'm really looking forward to that Shinsuke Nakamura Jinder Mahal match. I hope it's not closing the show. I think the Universal title match is going to have to close the show. We'll talk about this a little bit more as we get closer to SummerSlam. We're already pretty damn close. And next week we are going to have a special episode dealing with celebrities in wrestling, particularly Raw and SmackDown. I've already got most of the footage put together, just got a little bit left. I know I said I had 2 episodes I was working on. I thought I had a little bit more time, but we just have so many pay-per-views. We got crunched a little too close to SummerSlam. I'm still working on it, but it's not going to be ready for SummerSlam. I still got too much work to do. I'm going to wait until we have a little bit more downtime to do the episode. I don't want it to take away from other stuff. But the celebrity special will be coming up next week. And then we're going to be looking at SummerSlam afterwards. I do want to take a little bit of a closer look at Wrestle Circus. This is the Cody Rhodes Summer Show. This we've got Christy James versus Rachel Ellering. Rachel Ellering is coming off of the main event of the last Wrestle Circus show. It was a great match. Christy James is up and coming. She's building a name. She isn't quite as known an entity, but she's a really good wrestler, and I think this match is going to do a lot to kind of elevate her to that next level, assuming that she can hold her own with Rachel Ellering, which is something I think she should be able to do. We've got a Lance Hoyt Open Challenge. He returned at the last show and issued similarly an Open Challenge on that show. He is back from injury. Hopefully we will be seeing him in New Japan soon as part of the Killer Elite Squad, part of Suzuki-gun. But until then, just look for him to be a part of these Wrestle Circus shows, as they have a lot of loyalty to him, and as a result, he has a lot of loyalty to them. We've got Space Monkey and Super Beetle versus Ethan Page and JCRES. I am only familiar with Space Monkey and Ethan Page out of those. Ethan Page is really a good character guy. He's really good at that unlikable, like deliberately unlikable character, and it's going to be interesting to see how he plays that against Space Monkey, who is kind of on that Jervis Cottonbelly, just naturally likable level, and he's actually going to be escorting Space Monkey and Super Beetle on this one. This is before the intermission. It's going to be one of the earlier matches. I don't expect there to be much to it. We've got a four-way match. Jordan Lennox, which is probably my least favorite name in indie wrestling today, because it's not Lennox, it's Len-X. Just seems like something that he would have made his No Mercy create a wrestler named because of his last name being Lennox. Anyway, so it's Jordan Lennox versus Angelico versus Flip Gordon versus Brian Cage. That's going to be really interesting because you've got three smaller, agile guys in there with the Machine, Brian Cage, and there's going to be a lot of him having people launched at him and him throwing people. That's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm very curious to see how they go with that. We've got the Big Top Tag Team Championship, Roppongi Vice, which if you've been watching New Japan, you know that they broke up, but they haven't broken up. They just broke up in New Japan. They are still the tag team champions at Wrestle Circus, and they are going to be putting that belt on the line against the tag team of Adam Cole and Britt Baker. Who is Britt Baker, you say? Well, then you're not watching Wrestle Circus, because she is Adam Cole's girlfriend that has already competed with him in intergender tag team matches against Sami Callihan and Jessica Havoc. So, yeah, we're going to have a man-woman tag team that is not the world's cutest tag team go for the tag team championship. This is kind of starting to become the status quo. Joey Ryan, now that Candice LeRae is not quite as available, has started to team with his own paramour, Laura James. I hope I'm using that word right. So we're starting to see more and more intergender tag teams on the indies, and Adam Cole and Britt Baker are one of them, getting a tag team title shot. With Roppongi Vice splitting up in New Japan, it's going to be real interesting to see how long they hold on to these belts before they split up elsewhere. How long are they going to get booked as a tag team in America when their whole thing in Japan was it was a big deal that they broke up when they lost the IWGP Junior Heavyweight belts? Curious thing. We got JT Dunn versus Sammy Guevara. JT Dunn is one of these guys that's kind of coming up. He's the Death by Elbow guy, I believe. A little bit of exposure on PWG, but he kind of got left in the cold by Chris Hero signing back with NXT. They were, the tag team Death by Elbow, and he's just kind of floundering on his own. It's going to be curious to see how he does against Guevara, who's kind of Wrestle Circus' golden boy. I would expect Sammy to win. I don't know what to expect. I just haven't seen enough of JT Dunn especially since Chris Hero signed back with NXT to really know what to expect. We've got Kevin Conran versus Brandy Rhodes. Kevin Conran, have never seen him wrestle before, but I've seen him on Wrestle Circus shows as Scorpio Sky's manager. He is a trained wrestler. He is also one of the co-founders of R Squared Circle on Reddit. And if he is able to beat Brandy Rhodes, then Scorpio Sky's match with Cody is going to be for the Ring of Honor World Championship. I expect that to happen. I expect it to be dirty as hell, because I don't see why you would have that in place unless you're actually going to have that match. But the problem is, when you actually have Cody versus Scorpio Sky can't win, because even though Scorpio Sky is the best, he can't win the Ring of Honor Championship on a non-Ring of Honor show. I mean, that might happen in New Japan, but it's not going to happen in Austin, Texas at a Wrestle Circus show. It's just not. So, don't know how they're going to handle that, except for Cody winning. Just weird, because they're both bad guys. Then finally, you've got the Lady of the Ring and Sideshow Championship, both of which are held by Tessa Blanchard after the last Wrestle Circus show, versus Lufisto. This is her debut, and she is going for both championship belts. I do not expect her to win. She is I honestly thought she had retired. She had gotten in the news last year. Apparently got just beat to hell in one of her matches. I thought she retired not long after that. I was wrong. Here she is. Wrestle Circus is doing a lot to try and bring in a lot of female wrestlers. They kind of tried to get ahead of the curve on the women's, I believe they're calling it Evolution now in WWE. They started doing this before the Mae Young Classic was confirmed, when it was still rumored. They're getting a lot of women on these shows, and I think it's wonderful. Some of them are better than others. I am definitely looking forward to see how this one goes. They're both talented wrestlers, and I don't know if they're going to carry the main event like the last show was the Women's Championship main event, or if it's going to be Cody versus Scorpio Sky. But it's going to be very interesting to see where they go with that, where they put Cody on the card when they name the show after him, when it's not even a Wrestle Circus Championship that he's defending. What I have for you in the meantime is I am trying something new. I'm also going to upload this video as an independent video afterwards. But I'm going to leave you, instead of with this long, like, subscribe, whatever, with a look at my favorite moments of the week. And we're just going to go right into them. Thank you, everybody. Cheers.
I'm going to send a little warning to Miss Money in the Bank right here tonight. Oh, slide it in.
どこへ行く？
上がるか？上がる。
上がった2階席。
いつか見た光景だ。
デス状態。
わたー。もろいた。Oh, we're going to see something. Cedric and Swan, similar ideas. Whoa! And Tozawa, look at this. Bad shoulder and all. Suicide dive by Tozawa.
なのかもしれません。方向とともにジュースを立たせる。バックを取った。さあ。
いやー、返した。
ナックル。
左のナックルで返した。
バックを
い
取る。
けるか。
いけるのか。叩き込むことができるのか。
いけるか。
いや
ー、なんだこれはジャーマンスープレックスだ。
そしてレイメーカ
ー。強い。
あの体勢から
Bray Wyatt retreating. And Finn Balor's not done.
Is going to respect Aleister Black after all, and or is he?
Oh.
Whoa! You have to respect that!
Nice charging in Grand Metalik.
Oh my God!
One step ahead of Nice.
Wow!
That's one of the many downfalls of Gracie. Oh, wait a minute. He thought he was the ultimate pro there. Oh, Riddle! Catches him, holds on. Riddle trying to prove that Alex Gracie's still a prospect. Look at this from Riddle, such strength. And again he holds on, again he rolls through. The ultimate pro and the ultimate bro is doing his thing right now. Riddle, another throw. So accomplished.